I'm Mike Maruzars in the 41 Action Newsroom, and we are following breaking news happening right now in Clinton, Missouri, where there is a massive investigation underway after an officer-involved shooting. We are also hearing that Clinton police, as well as Henry County police officers in the Missouri Highway Patrol, are at a house requesting somebody come out of that house, and that person is refusing to do so, barricading he or we don't know if it's a man or a woman, but they're refusing to come out of the house. I can tell you the 41 Action News reporter Ariel Rothfield has arrived there in Clinton. So, Ariel, what do we know at this point?
Well, Mike, we are a couple blocks away because police told us we had to leave that area. It is a very active and fluid situation. Right now, I'm actually seeing a lot of different police cars, as you mentioned, the Missouri Highway Patrol, the Sheriff's Office. We're a block away from the staging area where it looks like the SWAT team is, but a couple seconds ago, we just saw cars swarm by, and there's something to point out. Where they're having the media stand right now, we are the only ones right here, is exactly where Officer Gary Michael was shot about a year ago. Again, we are seeing a lot of police right now. It's still an active scene. They have several roads shut down in Clinton. We do not know if any officers or any neighbors or anyone was injured. We are still working to confirm that. Again, a heavy police presence from the Missouri Highway Patrol, the Henry County Sheriff, and a lot of other police officers. It's very quiet right now because all of the activity, as I mentioned, is a couple blocks away where it is completely locked down. Residents have been asked to shelter in their homes, stay away from windows. We talked to one woman who said she and her kids were hiding in the basement because they just are afraid, and police are telling everybody, including us, to stay away. It is still a very active and a very dangerous scene, Mike.
Ariel, Cassie Tolliver telling 41 Action News that she even heard gunshots, all of the police sirens she heard, and then those police lights swarming that neighborhood. And as we click into the next day, I mean, it's almost, midnight now, in the middle of the night. I would imagine a lot of neighbors are having a difficult time even trying to go into their house and sleep when they don't know exactly what the situation is. What is the level of urgency where you have been put right now? I mean, can you sense any movement from the tactical teams that might be there on the scene? Or what's the sense being on the scene where you are right now?
Well, we are hearing some of them get into their cars right now. My photographer, Bob, is going to slowly push in. They were all out in, their tactical vests, their gear, their masks and everything. It's pretty quiet right now, but again, when we pulled up, we initially went to the scene a couple blocks away, and they immediately, before we could even park, were running towards our car, telling us we had to leave the area. It just was not safe. They are taking this extremely serious, especially given the history here in Clinton with one of their officers dying about a year ago. Again, it's still very quiet right here, right now, but a lot of activity a couple blocks away, and they are taking this very seriously.
Ariel, you mentioned it. I mean, so often that these scenes become so spread out because officers don't know exactly how far to put, especially reporters when they get there to the scene. But that's a true indication of what they're dealing with by the fact that you've been placed so far away. And, it's been 7 months to the day that Officer Gary Michael was shot and killed in the line of duty, that Clinton police officer there in Clinton. And Ariel, I just heard an update here in my earpiece from our producer, and we can now report to you that 3 officers have been shot. And Sean, how many did you say? And 1 officer has been killed. 2 other officers have been injured and are now being treated, all of them from the Missouri Highway Patrol and Clinton police officers. This information coming from the Missouri Highway Patrol, Troop A, that is stationed headquartered here in Lee Summit. So to recap the new information that we just learned, 3 Clinton police officers shot, 1 has died, 2 others being treated for injuries. We don't know the significance of those injuries right now, but Ariel, we just mentioned Officer Gary Michael shot and killed in the line of duty 7 months to the day that this incident happened, and we still don't know exactly how this happened, and we don't know the update from that person that is refusing to come out of that house as investigators have surrounded that house there in Clinton. Ariel, that news, you mentioned it. I mean, it's so eerie for this department to be going through the same thing, and now we're hearing 3 officers shot, and sadly 1 has died. And Ariel, I mean, these officers now are dealing with the grief of losing another officer, 2 others being shot, but also still trying to remedy the situation of the suspect. And we don't know where he or she may be at this point. They obviously want to talk to this person that's inside that house, but the information that we're just hearing, 3 officers shot, 1 has died. Ariel, we'll send it back to the scene and you.
And Mike, you know, it's not just the police department that's reeling, it's the community. Again, I want to point out, as we reference this all in context, this is where Officer Gary Michael was shot and killed, right here, steps away from where we are standing. Now, when this happened, the entire community of Clinton, I remember covering his procession, came out in full force with flags, American flags with a blue line saying, "We support our police officer, we support our police department." I mean, this community has been through this once, as you mentioned, 7 months ago to the date, and now they're going to have to go through this all again on social media, all over Facebook, all over Twitter. We have seen people just praying for the safety of our officers, and again, this is another nightmare no community, no police department, nobody wants to endure, and that's why I think we have seen the severity of this situation. We have seen people kicking us back, taking it so seriously, because this is everyone's, frankly, their worst nightmare. They never want this to do. They never want to deal with this. They never want this ever to happen, Mike.
All right, Ariel Rothfield there on the scene in Clinton. And just to recap this new information that we have, this is coming from the Missouri Highway Patrol. 3 Clinton police officers have been shot. 1 has died. 2 others now being treated for their injuries. Updates throughout the evening on our social media accounts and at kshb.com. A full recap on television at 4:30 in the morning on 41 Action News Today. I'm Mike Maruzars in the 41 Action Newsroom.